out of apartment 5B.
You're now tuned into the Apartment 5B podcast, where we chop it up about hip-hop, R&B, sports, love and life. Hosted by Kill.
What's good? You are to an Apartment 5B podcast hosted by your man Kill. I got my squad with me in effect as always. My brother out at NO Neltron. What's going on, bro?
Man, happy to be here, man. Always happy to be here.
No doubt. I got my brother Spence out of Philadelphia. What's good, bro?
What's good? Happy to be here, man.
No doubt. My brother Vague out of BK. Yo, you and Hove getting haircuts, man. What happened, man? What's going on?
Nah, it was a cute experiment, but it was time to get back to business. So
okay, all right. You was in Yankee Stadium too. Wifey did it, or how you ain't do all that? Nah,
man. We spent that money on vacation. Ain't got no time to
hear you.
Watching a nigga point at everybody the whole time. I'm good.
I hear you. See Dame out here hating like, yo, why he getting a haircut? I'm like, this dude hate on everything, man. Why you do the pop up in the train? We never took the train. I'm like, Dame, please go to please.
Right. So corny,
and
man.
One of the original Apartment 5B OGs is in the building who just fell off that quick. So we will pop back with that one. But yo, I'm gonna wait for her to pop back up and then we'll get that going again. But yeah, Dame just be hating, bro. I'm like, God damn, man. Like, and it's wild because boys just keep interviewing him for the clickbait, and it's like, yo, stop. Like, that's what I really hate. I'm starting to call these podcasts red table talks. Because I'm like, yo, this is just what this is becoming out here, y'all. Like, why are we interviewing Dame? Like, we know it's just for this nigga is a certified crackhead at this point. You know he's just gonna be hating. But you know what? It gets around because even T coming to me like, yo, you see Dame? I'm like, how the hell you see Dame? Like, so it's making the rounds where it gets outside, and that's all boys care about. Like, this isn't anymore no diehard, like, yo, this is no journalism or nothing like that. And I hate it because niggas love to be like, yeah, I'm a journalist. Nigga, no, you're not. You are fucking doing whatever it takes. You are the lawyer on the side of the road with the goddamn billboard. You are ambulance chasing. Nigga, you ain't no real lawyer. You are ambulance chasing, my nigga. Like, and that's really what these boys are now. They view chasers. They just chasing for views. So, Burn, you back, babe?
Yeah, man. I don't know what happened. Them Russians, man, got him on the computer, man.
Hey, it's all good. So I'm gonna pick up from this. And we got one of my OG Apartment 5B brothers in the building, Vern out of ATL. What's good, bro?
What's going on, good people, man? Glad to be here, man. It's been a long time, man.
No doubt. The closer is back in the building. Y'all know me. Let's jump right into it. This week we are talking about what is the soundtrack for your life. Now, the way that this joint came about is me and Nate always listen to music. We was listening to the Wait and Excel soundtrack. I'm explaining to her how incredible the soundtrack was, the background of it. And I'm like, yo, the crazy thing is, Face wrote these songs as a dude, to share women's stories and everything. And that's so amazing. She was like, damn, that's so dope. Like that he like really tailor-made these songs for this movie. And that had me thinking like, yo, what would be the soundtrack to your life? Like, if you could think back to as far as you was a shorty to about 9 years old, what are 5 songs that really speak just to you? And this will probably be music that your parents was listening to, but it means something to you. And then if we go from 10 to like 17, from middle and high school, what were those 5 songs that spoke to you? Then let's go from college, like 18 to maybe 24. So college, military, maybe you started working, what were those songs? And then from 25 into adulthood, what were those songs or albums or however you want to do it? So that's what we chopping it up about today. What are your 5? I'm interested because y'all know me. I love to hear about the stories behind people's music. So I'm going to set it off with my 5. Number 1, in no order, Mama Used to Say by Junior. This is just a song that I always loved. I remember my pop always playing it, just running it. I mean, just everything about it. I just love that song. And the crazy thing, even as a shorty, not I was expecting it from as a shorty, but I'm like, damn, I wonder what happened to boy. Like he really was a one-hit wonder, you know what I mean? Because you never even heard from him again. But Mama used to say, just again, will always remind me of driving with my pop, which then taps into What a Fool Believes by the Doobie Brothers. My father loved that Doobie Brother album. I mean, again, it's just, and the older my parents get, it's blessed to still have them here. I love listening to some of these songs because they just bring me back. It takes me back to my childhood. So many dope memories with them. The next joint is a joint a lot of people may not have heard of. It's a joint called Color My World by this group called Chicago. And there's an ill flute solo on that song. My mother is a jazz musician. She's a flautist. So I just remember her practicing this song all the time. So there's no way that I can hear that song without thinking of her. Another joint with my mom being a jazz musician, the boy Chuck Mangione, he just recently passed away, so R.I.P. to a legend. He had a joint called Feel So Good, and the yin and yang of those two songs are so dope because Color My World is really like a kind of slow, sad song, and then Feel So Good by Chuck Mangione. If boys have ever heard it, it's a real upbeat, make you smile song, so it's the yin and yang of that. Another joint, We Will Rock You by Queens. Like by Queen. I said Queens. I'm thinking where Kelvin, he ain't even here. But from Queen. And it was the drums. Like I remember being a shorty and the way that song comes on with those drums. And it always makes me think about that Chappelle Show episode where he had John Mayer with the guitar and Questlove with the drums, and just how black folk, we want to hear them drums. That. And then the last joint is this joint. Boys may not remember this joint, especially if you were young, if you're younger, but this joint called Mickey by Tony Basil. And again, it was the drums. It was this joint, oh, Mickey, you so fine, you so fine. It was the drums again. You know what I mean? The drums is hard as hell. And here's the wild part. This is why I love doing this show, because in doing research, I never knew that was a remake. And the remake comes from this group called Racy from the UK. They had same joint, Hey Mickey, off their album Smash and Grab. And I'm listening to it today and I'm like, yo, I know this drum break that sets it off. And I'm racking my brain. And DJ Camper used it for this Keisha Cole joint called Trust and Believe. So again, that's why I love doing the research. Been hearing that song since 1984 and never knew it was a remake. So those are my five. Neltron, what are 5 joints that take you back to your childhood, bro?
My first one, shout out to Moms. Every week she would play 3 artists, Luther, Tina, and Sade and Anita Baker, but she wore Anita Baker out, so the song I chose was Same Old Love. And I don't know because Pops just left or whatever, but she would play that every other day, man, to ad nauseum. But I mean, that's why I became a fan. My second song is Love Will Find a Way. Lionel Richie.
Great song.
We would go see him on the weekend, and he drove this little convertible car, and he would play Lionel. He wore Lionel Richie out, man. So that makes me think of the weekends we would go visit my pops. The next song I remember hearing as a real young dude. Of course, my parents didn't play rap, but I remember the show with Dougie Fresh and Slick Rick. And I was just like, damn, okay, this is rap. I didn't hear it that much, but that's one of the songs that makes me think of going by my aunt's house, going by my grandmother, usually my aunt. But the next song I got is me being a child, and that's Head Over Heels by Tears for Fears. And that was just me, because in the 80s, we was latchkey kids, and I would be home by myself whenever we got cable, and I would watch MTV all day, and Tears for Fears was just one of those groups where I was just like, these dudes different, their voice sound different. I think Alita Adams was their protege, but Head Over Heels, that video was just crazy. And my last song is Rock With You, and that's the song that I'll go over by my grandparents' house. And they make little kids, I don't know how white people do, but in the black families, they always want the little kids like, hey, Lil Nell, just do that dance like Mike, or do that. So Rock With You was that's like the earliest like maybe must have been 3 or 4 years old, man. So Rock With You by my grandparents.
Now, how old are you, man?
I'm 48.
Man, you make me feel like I'm ancient or something.
Why you say that, man?
You get stuff that I remember much later than that. So, but all right.
Yeah.
Nah, it be that way, man. I was talking to my man D one day. He was like, "Yeah, Criminal Minded came out. I was a freshman in college." I was like, "Nah, nigga, I was in 6th grade." It's like, oh, like damn, like you because we all old and got kids, and this is what I mean by you think we all the same age, and I'm like, yo, you was in college in 1986, like or 87, like bro, I was in 7th grade, but this is my guy. You know what I mean? And you don't think about that, Veg. I know you had your hand up too.
No, I was just going to say, man, that to what Neltron was saying about, your grandparents or parents trying to get you to dance. If Michael Jackson was on, they didn't have to get me to dance. It was going down. Make room.
Right. It was like clear out the floor for Veg. He coming.
Right.
Nah, that's dope. That's dope. I love hearing these stories, bro. Spence, what you got up, bro?
Yeah. My dad was like a jazz type boy, so everything in his car was just like instrumentals. So I kind of really didn't get a lot of music far as from him. Or even my mom wasn't like a big music person. So a lot of stuff I got from my 2 uncles or my cousins when I used to go like up Germantown and stuff. So the first one I got is Parliament Flashlight. It seemed like I would hear that all the time. We're just kids running around, and they had like 3 floors, so we'd be all the way at the top, and we'd be outside in the backyard just running around. I would feel like I always hear like some type of Parliament or something at their house and stuff. And the next song I got is Marvin Gaye, What's Going On. Even though I know it came out when I probably was like 1 year old, but I felt like I heard that song forever as you got older. Like this seemed like music just lasted longer back then too. Like you thinking the song just came out, you're like, oh, that song came out in 71. And you might be hearing it in 79 or 78.
Yeah.
So I always like that one just on the perspective of what things going on, and basically it can fit right now of some of the things he's talking about. So that's a one I got. Another one I got is Elton John. I got Rocket Man. I used to go to the store and this dude would play this song all the time. I was like a little boy, and I was like, yo, why do he play this song all the time? So that always got to me too. That John and the OJ's For the Love of Money. I used to like that. Even this when he hit the mean green, it's like like just that soul and just that funk. So I used to love that song too. And Gloria Gaynor's I Will Survive. I used to like that song a lot. Just to play that joint crazy. Yeah. So like mainly like I said, my 2 uncles, and then like going to other family houses and hearing stuff from cousins or uncles and stuff like that.
That's dope, bro. One of the things I loved about For the Love of Money, whenever I hear that, I just see JoJo dancing. That was one of my favorite movies growing up as a kid. And that's like, I think when he met his first wife or something, or a shorty, but she was dancing For the Love of Money, and that just always just brings that back for me. And I love how music can do that for all of us in a different way. You know what I mean? Because Vern could hear For the Love of Money, that makes him think of something else. And one of the beautiful things about music, man. Vern, what you got up, bro?
All right, so I'm gonna start. Y'all know I'm from Gary, so I'm gonna start with the Jackson 5 Christmas album. I saw Mama Kissing Santa Claus. Christmas won't be the same this year. It just takes me all the way back, man. Second song is done by 2 artists, and I love both of them equally. Summer Breeze by the Isley Brothers. That's my mom's favorite group, but also I love the folk version by Seals and Croft. I love the harmonies on it, man. And I felt great that I took my mom to see the Isley Brothers about 2 years ago. So
that's dope.
We went to see the Earth, Wind, and Fire too, but okay. Then I'm gonna go number 3. Again, when I hear this girl's voice, it takes me back to being 4 or 5 years old. The Carpenters, Carol Carpenter, man. Her voice is so soothing, man. I believe if you scratched your knee, her voice would heal it. and that sound, man. They long to be close to you. It just brings me peace, man, because it makes me think about my grandmother and just being younger, man. Then I'm gonna go with the whole album. My baby sister is named after it. Asia by Steely Dan, man. Top full of joints, man. So that one sits close to me. And then this is kind of a wild card, but this song reminds me of us driving to family reunions in Mississippi. Memories by the Temptations.
I don't know that joint. I got I gotta peep that.
Yeah, you gotta peep that. It's just nostalgic joint, man. So those are my 5 off the rip from when I was a little kid.
That's dope. Veg, what you got, bro?
All right, so for mine, I was looking at like 5 to 10 years old. Some records are based off of family. Some are just records I heard that kind of remind me of that time. Starting off the top, Simply Red, Holding Back the Years. I just remember I didn't know what they were talking about. I just could feel it, and I didn't know what the feeling was, but I was just automatically attached to that record. To this day, when that joint comes on, like I gotta listen to it, I gotta sing it. I might have to run it back after that. Like, it's just a great record, man. Another one, Mother, Father, Sister, Brother, Love is the Message. My father was a DJ. And I remember he used to play that song to death as a part, I guess, as a part of his mix. And I never knew the name. I just knew I used to mix it up with the Soul Train anthem, which might be the same thing if I think about it, or the same melody or something. But I remember I just liked it a lot because it would build. It started out slow and mellow, and then it would build to this dance record. And I always thought that was dope. Sucker MCs, Run DMC, man. First time I heard that beat and the way they was rapping on there, I had to learn those lyrics. Like I had to, because it was just the dopest shit I ever heard in my life. And obviously, being young, I had heard hip hop earlier than that, like Rapper's Delight and all of that, but this was different. This was kind of feeling like more of my speed as a really young guy. So I always loved that record. Purple Rain by Prince. Watched the movie as a kid. I didn't know everything that was going on. Little lace on the ladies. I'm like, okay, what's this? You know what I'm saying? Also, I just remember like in the movie when the song was on and everybody's like hands in the air swaying, and I was like, damn, that's what a night at the club is, because you get all those performances and that's like a closer song, and I'm like, man, they look like they enjoyed that shit. So I always loved Purple Rain for that reason. And lastly, y'all already know
it's Mike. We know it's Mike.
Michael Jackson, okay? Or Maka, like Joe Jackson and Holy. Billie Jean, man, when I heard that bass line and how Michael was singing on it, and then the video, and I'm like, damn, the nigga walking in the fucking streets lighting up everywhere he steps.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The fire escape lighting up, the fucking bed, like this nigga's magic. I just was so enamored with everything surrounding that record. It was just so dope. And again, kind of like I said with Simply Red, it was more of a feeling. I didn't have the words to articulate at that age, but I knew I knew I wanted to be a part of music in some way, watching stuff like that and hearing records like that. So those are my 5.
Yo, it's crazy, Veg. The Billie Jean joint, it just always takes me back to Motown 25.
Yeah.
Because to me, that it was seeing the moonwalk for the first time and all that stuff. But even before Billie Jean, that's actually what put me on to the Jackson 5. Because again, my mom's being a jazz musician. She wasn't playing a lot of Motown in the house. So you know what I mean? Yeah. I remember before Mike did that, they came out and did a medley of all their Jackson 5 hits, and it was like, oh, what's that? And my mom's like, oh, that's ABC, or that's I Want You Back. And like that's kind of what got me into to go into that, which is crazy. And then I don't know if y'all saw this. I don't know what it is. I'll try to remember the clip and send it to y'all. But they were talking about how much hoopla it was with the record label because they did not want to start Billie Jean off with just the drums. They was like, yo, you know, the radio's not going to play that. And, you know, we need to shave that off and just come in with the song. And Quincy and Michael fought with the label and they eventually kind of just gave up and it of course became what it became. But it's just always crazy to hear like that somebody, and to me, that's the dopest part of this song. Well, one of the dopest, intros it in. But they were saying that the radio at that time, they was like, people don't want an intro on a single. They just want to, you know, kind of how I am with the albums. I'm like, I don't want no intro. I just want to hit play and hear the music. That's what they were saying on the radio. Like radio DJs aren't going to want to play that part in the beginning. We need to just get it. And it's crazy that, you know, it is what it is. And that's to me one of the dopest parts. And they were like, we really had to fight to get that to go. It's just crazy. I know Michael isn't Michael yet, but it's just crazy to hear that Michael Jackson had to argue with a label about what he was going to do. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I'm sure after Thriller, that nigga did whatever he wanted to do, but, you know, I guess off the wall, he ain't have that pull yet. All right, boom. Preteens, I'm looking at 10 to 17. First joint I got 1985, Lottie Dottie, Dougie Fresh, and Slick Rick. This was so big to me because this was one of the first songs where there was cursing in the song. And I couldn't play this in my house. And then I couldn't go to my man Frank's house. And we had to go to my man Classic's house because his older brother Walt, I'm 52. Walt was probably 3 or 4 years older than me. So we had to go over there. So this was like the first time. I'm always talking to young boys and people who watch the show who are younger. We used to risk life and limb for this hip hop thing here. You know what I mean? Like we had to like turn the curse words down or listen low. Like we had to do all the sneaking to hear this joint. So Lottie Dottie was huge for me. Here's the thing that I just thought about in doing this. Nobody's ever talked about why Slick Rick and Dougie Fresh broke up. I have never heard that conversation. I've never seen that in an interview. It's like, yo, y'all make two of the most, I mean, Neltron just brought up the show. I'm bringing up Lottie Dottie. That's one of the dopest 12-inch back-to-back songs in the history of hip-hop. And no one, myself included, has ever thought about, yo, why they break up? Like it literally, like Dougie Fresh just went to Cut That Zero and Slick Rick just went to Hey Young World, and nobody has ever questioned that. We need answers. I never thought about before. Next up, I Can't Live Without My Radio by LL Cool J. That was the anthem to my life because my mother knew the best way. It wasn't about going outside. You could be like, Kill, you can't go outside. No, nigga, I don't go outside anyway. Good, you know? So, but my mother knew the radio. You take away my turntables, you take away my hip hop. Like if I failed the test, no radio. So I Can't Live Without My Radio, like was my anthem right there. Rebel Without a Pause, Public Enemy, 1987. It's on the 12-inch, so you're gonna get yours. Spence, I'm sure you can attest to this. I swear every car in Philadelphia in 1987 was playing Rebel Without a Pause. Like every car. If you was of a certain age and you could drive, you were blasting Rebel Without. Every drug dealer I knew, every person who came up my block, you just heard that loud screeching. Rebel Without a Pause will always bring me back to that. Criminal Minded, I got to go with the whole album. You know, 87, y'all know I used to stay in Brooklyn every summer, so I'm in Brooklyn at B Street, buy that album. That is probably the most album I've played out of any album of any genre ever. I mean, I just would play that constantly back to back. I've had it on tape, vinyl, CD, 2 tapes. I mean, it's an album that I brought constantly every time. It's one of those albums that if I ever see an original copy out, I'm copying it. If I see the CD, I'm buying it. There's stuff in here that I got 2-3 copies of because I'm like, it's just so dope. I can't even stand to see it being out and me not having another copy of it. And then here's the one that a lot of boys may not know. Craig G, now that's more like it. This was his second album after The Kingpin. The Kingpin, for people watching, it was kind of like a whole hip house type album. It wasn't what boys was expecting after dropping Science. That's more like it. The first single was a song called
Girl, You're Not It.
Yeah, Girl, You Know You're Not. Yeah, You're Not the One. Very much, and Marley was in his Around the Way Girl bag. So if you can imagine Around the Way Girl is basically that for Craig G. The reason this album means so much to me is that this is when I was legally being taught how to drive. So I've been driving since I was 14 on some wild shit. But this is like when I got a real permit. My mom is like taking me out, and I gotta act like I really don't know how to drive, but I do know how to drive. And this is the album that I just played all the time. Like I said, I know people who've never even heard of this album, let alone heard it. But that's why I think this show is so dope, because an album that may not mean something to anybody else means the world to me, just because that was the soundtrack to me acting like I was learning how to drive. So that's my joint. I'm gonna go backwards so we ain't waiting. Beg, what you got on this joint?
All right, 10 to 17. First up, Dr. Dre, Nothing But a G Thing. And I remember it vividly because before I heard the record, I think I told the story before, I stumbled upon an album in a mom and pop shop, and I didn't think it was real. I was like, what the fuck is this? With Dr. Dre, like Looney Tunes? Because I didn't know it was a Dutch Masters box. I was just like, this doesn't look real. And that was around the bootleg time, so I wasn't sure until I pressed play, and I was like, oh, this is Dr. Dre. And when I heard Nothing But a G Thing on the album, I was like, damn, this beat is crazy, and this song, this shit is so dope. And then once I saw the video, I think even now, if the video's on, I will watch that whole shit. That is like a perfect example of, like, I guess, summer in the West Coast. You know what I'm saying? It just felt like a block gathering type of situation, and they just rhyming with the random cameos and all of that. The next one, Nirvana, Smells Like Teen Spirit. Now, I wasn't really into groups like that. Like, the furthest I would go is Rage Against the Machine, and that had a lot to do with the lead singer basically rapping, you know what I'm saying, with rock beats. But when I heard that, I was like, you know how you be fronting on shit, and then you like, what's the name of that record? Like, you're gonna get it. Like, you're gonna go and get it. Like, I kind of like that shit. Like, the band, all of that. I just thought it was ill, and again, around that time, pre-teens, teenager, just hearing shit like that was just awesome to hear. Eric B and Rakim, Eric B is president. Man, listen. As soon as I heard those bars from Rakim, I was like, I never let the mic magnetize me no more. Like, what is he talking about? Like, I just wasn't used to hearing rapping like that. And that shit was every block party. It didn't matter if I was in BK, Queensbridge, driving past. That shit was like you said, Kill, about the other joint. Like, that shit everywhere. Rebel Without a Pause. That shit was everywhere. It was just crazy. Wu-Tang Clan, Cream. I think I told the story a million times, man. I heard the bootleg demo first, and the beat played for a long time before they started rapping, and I just kept trying to figure out, like, what is this dirty shit? Like, is this a real dirty ass demo?
You heard it like somebody passed it to you? Like, how'd you hear that joint?
Nah, so around that time before the album dropped, there was this barbershop I used to go to that was in downtown Brooklyn at the Brooklyn Bazaar, which was like in the back. And I had went once or twice, and they would be playing hip hop and shit like that. But one time I was in there waiting, and I heard that beat. And Protect Your Neck was already out. And I heard them playing that beat, and you know how niggas be fronting the barbershop, like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Niggas ain't got this. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? And then I heard, I think I heard Raekwon rhyming, and this was before, like, Method Man's verse was on there. I mean, the hook. But I just remember, like, saying to myself, whatever that is, when it comes out, I need to get that, because this shit just sounds crazy. It doesn't sound like anything I've ever heard before. And then, eventually they dropped it and it was on the album. But that always reminds me of that time of, like, you're not a freshman in high school, but you're also kind of close to graduation, and, you're kind of finding yourself and, getting a little confidence. So Cream just always remind me of high school more than anything. And I think this is my fifth. Mary J. Blige, Real Love. I typically at that stage and age didn't go spend my own money on R&B, because, like, my mother or somebody would already have it and I would just get a copy. But when I heard You Remind Me and then Real Love, I was like, I need to go buy What's the 411 because this shit just doesn't sound like anything I've ever heard. So I really always look at that from a consumer standpoint as well as a music fan, as far as spending my own money on R&B because it was just that good to me. So
Yo, I always wanted to. I know Real Love had to hit different in Brooklyn with them top billing drums. I know it did. You know what I mean?
it was, man. It was one of those things where you're looking at like, damn, this is R&B, but it's hip hop. Damn, we know Ron G was doing that, but that's different. Nobody releasing records like that. You know, this is almost like a blend on a fucking album. So yeah, it was, man. It got tremendous airplay, especially when Biggie did the remix. It was just crazy.
And it's funny because that came out because I'll talk about it. It's on my list, so I'll talk about it. But I just love hearing. This is one of the things I love about social media is hearing how music hits different. Because keep in mind, Veg, me being from Philly, I didn't hear about Ron G until I got to Morgan in '92. So I didn't know anything about Ron G tapes. You know, my man Dre from Jersey pulled up in the Benz one day with a Stephanie Mills over Impeach the President, and dog, I lost my mind. I was like, yo, what is that? He's like, well, that's Ron G. I'm like, yo, who? Like, no, yeah, get that to me, bro. I never heard anything like that before. So hearing Mary over top billing was one of those things like, yo, you could sing over top billing? Like, you know what I mean? Like, and again, for people watching who are younger, there used to be rules to this game. So yeah, somebody saying, can you? Like, it was like nobody had ever heard of that before. So I love the fact that you're like from New York, you like, oh, we seen Ron G doing that. Whereas people from probably everywhere else, you know, was like, oh snap, like what's that? You know what I mean? I remember coming back from Morgan to my man Cool DJ Frank in Philly playing them Ron G tapes. Niggas wasn't blending stuff like that, at least in Philly. I can't speak from nowhere else, but they wasn't doing that. And I was like, Frank, we gotta start doing this. And then we started doing our mixtapes. But love that point of just like you said, we already saw Ron G do it.
Real quick, it's funny that you would say that was the particular blend that you was like, yo, because that was the one that kind of made them blow up in New York because it was on the radio and they would play it to death. And it was just like I said about one of them, right? Eric B. is president. Like, far as being synonymous with block parties and parties, that was another one where it was just like, even like the older folk was like, well, some of them are haters. Like, what's this on Stephanie Hill record? Like, shut up. It's top level. It's our shit now. So,
right.
Yeah.
That's dope. That's dope. Vern, what you got, bro, for them high school years?
All right, high school years. Can I do rap and R&B?
Yeah, do your thing.
All right, I'm gonna blend them with them. So that's my '86. I'm gonna start with R&B because Vegas. Simply Red, bro.
Wow.
Holding back the years. Listen, I can remember because we moved from Gary to College Park. I can remember that song was on the radio the early morning that we left Gary and was pulling out of my grandmother's driveway, man. So holding back the years, it's something special in my heart, man. So yeah. So I'll do R&B first. This is the first time I ever heard 808 on slow jams, bro. Keith Sweat's "Make It Last Forever" album, man. Listen, man. Bro, the Dope Boys had our windows at our school rattling because they pull up in there with their big knock, man. It was crazy, bro. That whole album, man. You had to be there.
Yeah,
that's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna go with old light skin, "In Effect Mode" by I'll Be Sure. Hey, bro, that mug took over the world at the time. And then my last two R&B, I'm gonna say Any Heart. Yeah, man, with the unibrow. Yeah. Yep. I'm gonna say Any Heartbreak because we all knew who New Edition was. Girl, I'm leaving you again. Candy Girl, blah blah blah. Nah, man. This was different. This was some grown man New Edition, man. And it set the world on fire. And I'm gonna say this. Of course, we all know Candy, right? I mean, not Candy Rain. What am I talking about?
Candy Girl.
Stand the Rain.
You can't stand the rain.
But to me, the best slow jam on that album was I'm Coming Home.
Oh, you like I'm coming home. I thought you were gonna do Boys to Men. I'm coming home. Yeah, I'm coming home is crazy.
Nah. And then my last one on the R&B side, my homie Derek was a Prince head, man. That Sign of the Times album, bro.
Wow.
Dorothy Parker.
Dr. Parker, yeah. Forever
literally
Your
just popped his
Life
joint.
on Strange Relationship, man, crazy. So then, okay, I'm gonna go up rap. I'm gonna say Hot, Cool, and Vicious by Salt and Pepper. Bruh, top to bottom. If you don't know it, you need to get to know it. Then I'm gonna say 3 Feet High and Rising by De La Soul, because I think this was the first time I can remember like regular dudes or nerds making an album, and it's like, okay, I can relate to this, man. And just so 3 Feet High and Rising. Then I'm gonna say that the group that told Kill not to sell drugs. It Takes a Nation of Millions by Public Enemy, man. That's when I started my early days of pro-black radicalism and and all that kind of stuff. Man, the lessons, the messages on the album, the sound, the Bomb Squad had like 2,000 samples at one time, man, and it was just like a wall of sound. Then I'm gonna say Paid in Full, 86, man. Rakim, I take 7 MCs, put them in the line, then I ask 7 more brothers who think they can rhyme. I used to take that album and write the lyrics down in the notebooks just so, because it was just like a work of art, man. He rapped like a jazz musician, man, like a saxophonist. And then my last one on the hip hop side, moved to Georgia in 86, 87. License to Ill by Beastie Boys, man. Bruh, I never heard nothing like that, man. You know, Paul Revere, it was crazy, man, because these was wild white boys, man, but every dope boy I know had that License to Ill album, bumping it all the time, man. So those would be my 5.
No doubt, no doubt. Spence, what you got up, brother?
From 10 to 17, I know this guy, his name is not really that great, but Looking for the Perfect Beat and Planet Rock, because of the house parties, the block parties, breakdancing, popping, just like as far as the culture where we start to see these things in other places, breakdancing and stuff. So that one played a real part of me, a good part of me. Melly Mel and the Furious Five Street Beat song. I mean Beat Street song, because of the movie. Me going to see the movie and then just really got enamored with the culture, just seeing the whole everything. So that song, if I even hear that song, I'm playing it like 2-3 times. Even you think about the stuff that Melly Mel is saying in the song, like don't be a slave to no computer, like children of the world is in, like the different things he's saying. He's like painting a picture, like of what's going on. So that was always the one. For me, Houdini's 5 minutes of, I mean not 5 minutes, Houdini, Freaks Come Out at Night. For me, for that is because going to the Fresh Fest, the second Fresh Fest, me going there, and basically my second real big concert I'm going to at 15 at the Spectrum, and so I'm like, yo, this is crazy. Then they had like a thing in the middle where they had break dances and stuff, and I'm like, yo, that looked like Boy from the Scanner Boys, and that was like a group from Philly that was like B-boys, and this dude named Spoonie. So then when you see the Freaks Come Out Night video and they come off the bus and they start singing Friends, and I'm like, yo, that is them from Philly. So they was on tour with them. So I really was like, tapped in. So that played my whole thing. Then I got a local one for me is Steady Big, Bring the Beat Back. Because that was probably my first time going to like local clubs in the city, where I might go to the Wynn Plaza, Winfield, that's a part of a section in West Philly where Will Smith is from. Then I start going to like the YMCA where Bobby Dance would throw parties, Kim Graves. So even though you had this scene nationwide of New York having all this stuff, Philly had their own local scene. So now I'm immersed in that, like checking all the stuff out and hitting stuff like that too. Then I got Public Enemy number one. When my man Flav start talking, then what goes on, then he start going in. So I always think of that song. I always think of Lady B on the radio, playing hip hop on Sundays or Fridays. Our little hour or 2 hours we get. She'll say, "Get your tape decks ready," and you just start taping all your music, and you staying up whether it's late or early to get that music in. So that all that stuff kind of remind me of my teenage years of that.
That's dope, man. That's dope. It's funny. This boy was telling me that DJ Katie Grand Dragon, that was Steady B's first DJ before Tag Money.
Mhm.
Niggas was saying that he was the first person who did a Transformer cut. You know what I mean?
He
Niggas
passed
sent
away
me
too. Rest in peace.
Yeah. Boy sent me this link of him at Central High School playing a party in like '86, and it was a Transformer cut, but it wasn't the Jazzy Jeff Transformer cut. You know what I mean? So, which is a huge debate. I'll send y'all links to this Cash Money talking about who did the Transformer cut first. It's hilarious. I'll let y'all watch it.
I remember I went to this club called Kim Graves, and my man Oscar, he was Spanish boy. He was like in the DJ crew. And this was my first time going to Kim Graves, and he was like, "Yo, you gotta see this boy Grandmaster Ant." Da, 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 da. So I like, all right. So me, my man Terry, and a couple other people go down there, and so I didn't know who Jazzy Jeff was. So this dude just got on the tables, and I'm like, "Yo, who is this dude?" And it was like Jazzy Jeff. I came back like, your boy, all right, but this dude Jeff got this thing. I ain't never seen nothing like it. I was like, I'm cool on your man, all right, but Jeff, this dude, he different. Then I started, like I said, going to the Win and seeing Jeff and Cash, and it was crazy, man.
Yeah, definitely a dope time, man. I wish I was older back then, man, because I couldn't go to none of that stuff, bro. Neltron, what you got up, bro? Your high school years.
I started in what that was 10 to 17. So like Vern, 1988, my mom gets remarried. We moved to Clayton County, then we go to DeKalb County. Okay. And I'm gonna do a few R&Bs. I remember In Vogue came out. They had the song Hold On.
Yep.
And they had like I think is that a James Brown sample in that song?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so that song sticks out to me. I remember seeing Red Clay for the first time. I remember going down South Harrison. I remember seeing the first Blockbuster because we didn't have we had local video stores in New Orleans.
Wow.
Blockbuster on South Harrison. Then I also remember going to Turtles, Kroger's. Like it was all these landmarks that was like, okay, welcome to Atlanta. And my second R&B is when I'm coming back to New Orleans in '91 to go move back with Pops, and it's Jodeci Stay. That's like every time I hear it, I'm 13 again, and I'm looking at I had crushes on two of these chicks, and we playing. I just remember the gear people, the used jeans, just the fashion. I remember seeing the video, and these dudes had on different things, but Stay was that's another one. And
Which one of the two shorties did you bag?
Huh? No,
Which
none
one
of
of the
them.
two shorties? Oh,
I was
damn. All right.
I was quiet. I was a new dude on the block. You know what I mean? I've been in Atlanta for 3 years. I didn't know everybody, so I was a new cat. But I wish I would have bagged him, man. But my last R&B is gonna be this is High School Anniversary by Tony. When my grandfather used to bring me and my sis before I could drive, I remember they playing it on the radio all the time on Q93. And for my hip hop, same thing. Moving to Atlanta, LL's The Booming System. I heard that same, and it's weird because they both have the James Brown sample, and I was like, oh wow. But I was like, okay, cool. Next up for hip hop is Fight the Power by PE. I remember we were by my man's Brandon house, and they let us watch do the right thing. And Rosie Perez comes on there, and then I hear the song on the radio, and I'm just like Vern said, PE, just the bomb squad, like 10,000 samples in one song. Next is when I was in Atlanta, about 13. These two, shout out to Kamani and Faraji, and they were from Ohio, living in Atlanta, and they played the Ice Cube death certificate and Steady Mobbing. I saw the video on the box, and they had the hydraulics and the 3-wheel motion, and Steady Mobbing was one of those songs. Next hip hop, I got So Many Tears by Pac. That's high school. That whole album was fire because it was just the most grounded Pac we ever saw. He wasn't mad with nobody. He wasn't super pro-black. It was, the topics were on point. And my last one, I remember sitting in my grandfather's house and watching Rap City, and I see this dude with fronts, hair twisted all crazy, and it's the Brooklyn Zoo video. And I was like, okay, I don't know who, I know who Old Dirty Bastard is, but I never. So that video was everything. I used to play the whole cassette on the way to me and my sister be rapping all the ODB stuff, man. So yeah, ODB is my last hip hop joint.
That's dope. All right, we are now into the college, military, just getting out, maybe getting a gig. That 18 to 24 joint. First joint I'm gonna go with is Nas, The World Is Yours. The reason I picked that is I had just started interning at 889, and Vinny V, shout out to my man Vinny V, and RIP to my man DJ Bass, DJ Dave, one of the first DJs who were up there with me. And I'm interning there, and we're going through the mail, and like, yo, I'm super hyped. Like, I'm hyped to just even be up here, to be in this space. They're opening stuff, and I want to say nothing was out yet of Illmatic. I don't even think we had heard of we hadn't even get It Ain't Hard to Tell yet. So we're just going through the mail, got the sampler from Columbia, and Vinny's like, yeah, it's a new Nas joint on here, The World Is Yours. And I'm like, word? Like, pop that in. And hearing it was just like, yo, like hearing that, like the last thing you heard from Nas was Halftime, and then the next thing you're hearing is this, and then it's 93, so it's kind of like on some Secret Squirrel type stuff, like, yo, nobody else, I'm gonna go out on campus and nobody is gonna know what I'm talking about or what I heard, and I'm trying to explain how crazy it was, and I'm like, I think Pete did it, because Pete's singing on the chorus, and it just always brings me back to just starting at 889, which was an incredible time for me. This album right here, the Beat Nuts, you know what I mean? Now, I never heard this called street level until the internet. You know what I mean? I didn't know anybody who ever called this the street level album. It was just the Beat Nuts. The thing about this album came out June 21st, 1994. I listened to this album 50 times a day. Like, this is the album that made me, I always wanted to make beats. I started hanging out in studios in 87, 88. I'm like 7th, 8th grade. You know, I get to Morgan. I've always wanted to make beats. But when I heard this album, it was like, yo, I don't care what I have to do. When I get back to Morgan, I'm going to have an SP 1200. I don't care if I got to rob a bank. I don't care if I got to rob financial aid. I'm making beats. So this album is just like, and I love the album. And for people who don't know the Beat Nuts, you always know Cycle Less and Juju, but this is when Fast used to be in the group too. It was 3 Beat Nuts originally on this and the EP. So this album means everything to me. The next joint, Come Clean by J. Rue. At that time, we had never heard anything like that. When we heard those water drops, then it started being rumors like, yo, I heard Primo was sampling he hooked the joint up to sample the water drops, and Spence, you brought up Beat Street. That took me back, because Kenny, when he was kicking it to Shorty in his room, he was like, yeah, I used to hook the joint up and get the water drops. And I'm like, oh shit, did this nigga Premier really sample water? And then you find out it's Shelly Man, who's a jazz drummer. But it ain't no sample snitching. Who sampled is out there. Stop with that stuff.
That's so stupid.
Yeah, and Come Clean, I mean, again, the scratches, because we dropping some shit. It was just, J. Rue, I'd always been in the J. Rue since Daily Operation, and hearing him on I'm the Man, and it was just like, yo, this is J. Rue, this is crazy. And then the next joint is kind of like, it's not an album, but it's mixtapes. Like mixtapes to me from 92 to like 96, at least at Morgan, they was just as big as an album was. Like a new doo-wop with the Bounce Squad, like that was just as big as if somebody would have said, yo, Kill, here's the new Boogie Monsters, here go the new doo-wop. Yeah, whatever for them. Give me the new doo-wop. Like mixtapes were just as big as albums. Bounce Squad, there was Lord Tariq, this boy Snagglepuss, this Shorty Unique, Leatherface, and Rev Gotti. Then this is what I still loved about hip hop in '94. This nigga's name was Snagglepuss, and he rhymed like Snagglepuss. He rhymed like Snagglepuss. The guy, what was he? A purple, pink tiger? I don't even know what Snagglepuss was, but this boy rhymed like Snagglepuss, and we loved it. We loved it. Now one nigga was like, "Yo, who is this corny nigga rhyming like a cartoon character?" You didn't like him, Vane?
Man, I don't like no nigga acting like no fucking cartoon ass nigga. Like,
this the Brooklyn in you, man. Everybody I knew loved Snagglepuss. It'd be like, okay, Unique, cool, Lord Shriek, whatever. Where's Snagglepuss part? Where's Snagglepuss coming in? But I mean, just those mixtapes, the Ron G's, the Clues, the S&S and Craig G's, the Dog Times, just that the mixtape era was so crazy to me. I had 3 Timberland boxes full of all these mixtapes. I leave them at my mom's house in the basement, and she calls me damn near crying one day, and I'm like, yo, what's wrong? You know, I'm thinking something happened. She was like, yo, you're gonna kill me. I got the basement redone, and they threw out all your mixtapes. And I was just like, you know what? Don't even stress it, Dukes. Like, at this time, I'm like, I'm 48. Why they at your house any goddamn way? Like, you ain't storage. Like, I can't even be mad. Like, it is what it is. You know what I mean? But that's how much I collect. If y'all think all this collected, I collected mixtapes the same way. And then, like Vegas said, what's the 411 with Mary? I mean, it dropped July 28th, 92. So this is the summer of my senior year. I've graduated, but I haven't started Morgan yet. So that I feel like that summer is like one of the dopest summers. And I don't know if it is for everybody, but it's just something special about I'm out of high school. I'm not in college. I got my high school girlfriend and I'm keeping her in college. So it's just a great time. And my first answering machine, and for people out there who are young and don't know, before there was free smell and all that, you had to have an answering machine. You had to put tape in it. And my first answering machine, I was so hyped to get to college. I was like, I get to have my own answering machine. And I had it on the Love No Limit. It was like, the love in you is all the fun. So it played that, and then I'm like, yo, you reached Kill, yo, I ain't here right now. I'm gonna get with you. And we try, and it was like, yo, recording your voice for your joint. It's almost like doing like you was in the studio. I probably did that 50 takes just to get that.
Yeah.
Like going nowadays, you know, you don't even do your voicemail no more. You just, yo, you reached 240, blah 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 blah. Yo, getting your voice message right, getting them right was just as important as getting your bar right. Like your engineer, like, nope, do it again. I was like, nope, I do it again, gotta get it just right. So that was the 401, and then the last one, Fantastic Volume 1 and 2 by Slum Village. Yo, at 889, we probably played Players by Slum Village every hour on the hour. Like literally played it all the time. Anything that my man Little Mike could get his hands on, Get This Money, You Don't Know, whatever he could get his hands on. So the crazy thing is, so Volume 2 finally comes out, and I'm hyped, and I go to back and forth, but it ain't the real back and forth. Not like from the other joint. So then I got to find Fantastic Volume 1. So I'm out here searching the world for it. Don't get my hands on it until probably 2 or 3 years later when the internet starts popping, you're able to download stuff. So Fantastic Volume 1 got Beej in them on it. It was this joint we used to always play Beej in them, but we didn't have a good clear joint. So both of those joints are crazy to me. So those are my college years. Now, Tron, what's up with you? What you got for those years, bro?
All right, I got R&B. I'm gonna go with those first.
Now, you did military after high school, correct?
Yes.
All right,
I did.
I'm interested in this because I know y'all travel the world. So one of the things I love about that is I've always heard from different people, this is where different, coast and different sounds may come into play. So definitely interested on how you go with this.
All right, the first one that I heard was Missy I guess that's R&B, but when I Can't Stand the Rain came out right before I went to basic training, joining the army, and then I got back from basic training, and I hear, matter of fact, my first time in Philly, I get off the plane, and my cousin picks me up, and they're playing "You're Getting in the Way." I went to this mall. I forgot the name of this mall.
Gallery.
Fox. Is there a Fox something mall out there? Or?
Nah.
I don't know, man. It was a Philly mall. I went to the clothing store, and they played the whole Philly John. They played the whole album, and I was like, all right, when I get back to New Orleans, I'm getting that. And then 2000 and R&B. I'm still in the military, still in the service. One More Again by D'Angelo. Me and my cousin was in the garage, smoking, drinking, and just we lived with that album for about at least 3-4 months, man. Of course, something with Maxwell that came out like right when I graduated, right when I graduated. I graduated in '96, so that comes out that year. So that's, like you said, when you graduate high school, between high school and college, there's these songs that just stick with you. And as I got older, when I got my first place, this white cat came out named Remy Shan, and it was called "Take a Message."
Yep.
And that, every time I hear that song, I'm like, all right, I got my own place. I could do what I want to do. I pay my bills or not. I get my electricity cut off, the lights get cut off or whatever. On the hip hop, I'm in basic training, and Goody Mob comes out with "Still Standing," and we training out there in Oklahoma, and Black Ice drops. And I'm just like, wow, dude, these dudes
I've never seen
sky high. And I'm just like, these dudes got the bass. They got Preston Crump on the bass. I forgot the older cat, the OG on the guitar. But that song always, like, I'm back in Oklahoma training, getting chewed out by my drill sergeant. Pause. Sorry. That's crazy. My drill sergeant was fussing at us. I'll put it like that. He was barking. You know, Spence, the drill instructors, they bark on you. That was crazy, but that's what they used to say. Forgive me. And when I got back, we would go to the club. And
Deltron, I be so confused about Pauls. I was watching something with Dame, and he was like, "Yeah," and he in there with a Yankee jersey. Pauls. I'm like, God damn, you can't say Yankee jersey. Like, crazy. What is gay about? Like, I'm so lost now on Pauls. I don't think you can say anything. Yo, I went to the store at Pauls. You know what I mean? I'm there, and boys is on the joint, and he came up, and then he asked me what my hat was, Pauls, and I'm like, yo, I'm so lost on Pauls anymore, man. I'm lost.
They overdose on Paul.
And it's so funny because getting chewed out, I'm not thinking anything like that. Like I did, but I just wish I wish Dame just would,
I wish Dame would just go away.
Yo, this is why we did that episode of 5B where we was like, what would your hip hop hell be? And mine was like, I Am Legend, and it's just me and Dame Dash for eternity. And he's just talking for eternity, and I can't die, he can't die. I'm just me and him just walking for eternity.
Are you your own boss?
There's nothing that you can do about it. What you say, Spence?
I don't even watch them. Like, I don't click. Yep. I don't do anything.
I mean,
did he just run on the stage at the Jay-Z? Or that was AI?
Nah, that was AI. This is how bad this is getting now. It was AI, you know.
That shit was hilarious.
Yeah, bro. It's like that would be my hell. And because Dame would never shut up. He would just know that this is eternity. Like there's no ending, and it's just me and Dame. So yeah, sorry about that.
No, keep going, man. My next hip hop is "I've Been Around the World," the remix. This was the club.
Thomas.
Club days, like drinking. I'll drink before the club open. I'll meet the DJ. I'll help him bring in some of his records, and then the dance floor is lit. People smoking. No phones. But I've been around the world. Everybody do their dance, singing, chicks. Oh man. I've been around the world about remix. My next one is Bells of War, Wu-Tang. Mm-hmm. This is Summer Training, 97. And that's my next one. And My last one is my fourth one is Nag Champa by Common. That's another one that the year 2000 was just stacked with it just was coming to my own, for us having my own place and stuff like that. And my last one is Pick It Up by Redman. That's like right after high school. Muddy Waters comes out, and I think it came out the fall. But yeah, Pick It Up by Redman is my last hip hop joint.
That's dope. That's dope. That's dope. Spence, what you got, bro? Now, did you go straight to the military after high school?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
you did Navy, right?
I didn't go in. Yeah, I went to the Navy. I waited till after the summer, and I went in fall. So I stayed home for the summertime. The first one is JJ Fresh Prince, Brand New Funk. Like, you couldn't escape that joint. Wow. Like, they was playing that thing everywhere, at the Plaid, at the cars. It was like an anthem for a while, and you was like, damn, Fresh Prince, he's like spitting on his joint. Jeff is going crazy on the tables. So it was like, felt like they was representing Philly well. So that was a real big joint for me. Wu-Tang, Protect Your Neck. Now, I think I bought the tape, and I was like, who was this dude? And I think Method Man was on the other side of Protect Your Neck.
Yeah.
So
B-side.
I had Duty. I think then the album came out, and I had Duty, so I couldn't go out. So I had to like man the barracks. So they was like, "Yo, you ain't going." I got Duty. I can't go. They was coming to like Virginia Beach or Norfolk. I can't remember which one. So I had to stay for Duty. So I had done Duty. I go to sleep. It's like 3:00 in the morning. I just hear people running up to Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with. Wu-Tang. So everybody in that joint hype, and I get up, and I was like the music guy out of everybody. So I was like sick to my stomach that I couldn't see him. I was like, oh my God. But no, they was crazy. Ice-T Colors. I was 18. I took my sister, who was like 12, down to Baltimore to the aquarium. So after the aquarium, we went to it. They had a mall called the Gallery across the street. This is like 88. So we go over to the Gallery, and I had a little bit of money, had my Gucci sneakers on, everything. So I'm feeling good. I'm taking my little sister out. So we go upstairs. Before we go up, and I look, I said, my sister don't know, but I'm like, that's Africa Islam. I see him just walking, and I was like, oh shit. So then I go upstairs to the Foot Locker, and Ice-T is in the joint. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Then I realized, I was like, oh shit, I think it was called the Dope Damn Tour. They was in town in Baltimore, and I was actually going to the show like maybe the following day or something like that. And I didn't realize they was in Baltimore. You know, we didn't have no internet or nothing, so I didn't.
Right.
So he comes out, and I think he asked me where's something to get something good to eat, and I was like, I'm not from here, I'm from Philly or whatever. So we busted up a little bit, and that was real quick, John. He was mad cool. So as I'm done with my sister, I'm walking, I see Bismarck and TJ Swan in the food court. And you see Biz with these two big ass chains on. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? So that whole joint. Then Friday I went to the show, Ice-T on a cop car doing colors and everything. So that was like a wild joint for me. So that's like a memory I have. The Roots clones.
Yo, Spence, hold on for a sec, bro. Just to pause you right there for a sec, bro. The thing I miss about those times in hip hop, because here's the difference in hip hop now, y'all. Let a rapper be in the food court. Look at this broke ass nigga. This nigga ain't got no money. You know what I mean? Like, I hate that. Like, you know, there was a time when that's what rappers did. They wanted to be with the people. You know what I mean? And then again, keep in mind, every rapper wasn't trying to have their own jet either. You know what I mean? So you probably was in the food court trying to get something to eat. You know what I mean? But if that happened now, oh God, look at this broke ass nigga Conway. This nigga Conway at the mall at Foot Locker.
It wasn't even crowded either. Like, it was like
why he
afternoon.
Yeah, this nigga ain't got no money at Foot Locker. He's supposed to be at Prada. And I hate that about hip hop. I hate that we're now at this point where it's like you can't even do regular stuff. You don't even want to post regular stuff because if you can't do super extraordinary stuff, then you broke. It's just whack to me now, man. What are you gonna say, Veg?
I was gonna say what makes it so whack is in New York, you can, I forget which train it is, but you could take this train and Keanu Reeves is right on the train with you. on a regular basis, and nobody's fucking with him. He's like, if you say hello, he's like, hey. This nigga is a millionaire times 1,000. He don't have to be on the train, but like you said, man, it's like Bismarcky can't eat chicken. I'm like, can't go get a slice of pizza.
Like, oh, look at this broke ass nigga. This nigga Rick Ross eating pizza, man. What's wrong with you, nigga? We you supposed to be with private? It's like, we gotta. It is so disheartening because it's like this is not. I can't leave my culture to this generation doing none of that shit like that. Like I can't. Like I just can't. I don't feel right doing it. It's like, bro, if Rick Ross is somebody just had the other day, Pusha T, he on a commercial flight. Like, bro, what now? Niggas can't even catch up. Oh my God, what if he's on an Amtrak? Like this nigga must have lost his whole house. Like, I mean, you can't even take an Amtrak. It's like we're just getting to the point, y'all, that the things that y'all are pouring into this culture is not about. Is who cares? Like, it doesn't matter. It's just so it's and I'm sorry to cut you, Spence, but it's just when you're saying those things, it's just like, yo, that used to be the shit. That used to be the shit where you could be in Queens and see LL outside McDonald's. Nobody's like, oh, this nigga eating a Big Mac. This nigga broke. Like, yo, we gotta stop, y'all. We this is not it. This is not it. And I miss those days when you could see a rapper in the food court, where you could see a rapper on the block, and now you can't because you're gonna get clowned. Because I'm like you said, Vay, like I just wanted to be fatty. I like Chick-fil-A. Sorry. You could make me a millionaire tomorrow. Guess where I'm still going next week? Chipotle. Like I am. It doesn't change. I'm still So like, my best.
Like Michael B. Jordan, right? He won the Oscar, took that shit right to In-N-Out. Like,
right.
Wow. We want burgers.
Right. you know what I'm saying?
Do these same idiots know how expensive it is to fly in first class?
Here's the wild part, bro. This is, and again, I don't know where this. It's like what came first, the chicken or the egg? I don't know to blame the rappers who started talking about money so much, or to blame the fans for now, because I feel like we were hoodwinked. Some of the fans were hoodwinked into thinking, you've got to have this. Because keep in mind, hip hop has always been to lottie dotties. Like that was one of the first time that I was like hearing name brand stuff. When Slick Rick is like, yo, threw on my Bally's. I'm like, oh, what are Bally's? I didn't know what they was. You know what I mean? So it graduated. It went from Buster and Sob Story. Now I got my Cherry Pathfinder, or somebody with a Maxima in 87 was a crazy drug dealer car. Whereas now you would never say you had a Pathfinder. Yeah, Volvos, you would never in your lifetime say. So I just feel like now it's just continued to grow. So it just went from, I remember watching Juice, seeing Special Ed in the fucking Volkswagen Passat, and niggas in the movie like, oh, dude, he got the Passat. Like niggas used to pull up in Jettas, So again, hip hop has always been the culture of get money to some extent. It just never stopped, and now we just went from Bally's in 84 to if you don't have a private jet like Drake, that's 2 floors with a club and a spa and a jacuzzi, you a broke ass rapper. You know what I mean? Yeah. So
I guess I get irked about it, like you said, because I know my CEO has a G5, and one of my boys, he's an executive in the company. He was like, yeah, I'm gonna take some people to go see Ja Morant when he play in Miami, and Kyle said I could use the plane. But what Kyle didn't tell him was, you got to pay for the gas. The gas was like $30,000. Yeah. So do they understand the economics of this stuff? But anyway, no.
Yeah. And to your point, Vince, if people can see right there, you see Kid and Play on the Benz, but their right back is a Volvo. You listen to Big Daddy Kane's second album. He said, when I'm in my Volvo, cops harass me. They never ride past me. They have me like Lassie in a Volvo. Yeah, another victory. So, I mean, that's the thing. So, again, it's just hip hop kept going, and it just got to a point where it's like I said, now we're just at, if you don't have a private jet, you a broke nigga. And again, I don't know who to blame, because then you got Ross, who will be like, look, nigga, I got 1,800 cars and 4 private jets and this and that. And because I will say Drake dissing that nigga is based off of you saying what you got. Drake ain't talking shit about Fonte like, oh, Fonte, you whack, you ain't got no plane. So I do get it that sometimes it does come down to like millionaires joking on millionaires or whatever their social status is. But when you're now like Pusha T, now I feel like it's the fans' fault, because they've been brainwashed that if they see any rapper on a plane or a commercial flight, it's like, oh, like we in your face, like, you know, like that episode of the Twilight Zone, like you in the zoo, and I can't wait to put this on TMZ to show Pusha T broke, all that coke rap, him and his brother, they broke type thing. What you gonna say, babe?
I was gonna say, yeah, I think about moments like Jay-Z, imaginary players saying, you know, you bought a 4.0, you better get your changed because you didn't have a 4.6. And none of us could afford 4 point anything.
Right.
At this point, we like, well, we definitely not getting a 4.0. Like, if we get the money, we're not getting that one. You know what I'm saying? But honestly, who the fuck cares? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a car.
But yeah, and it just always goes back to like Jay. Like, I knew niggas who would be like, yo, I can't get the BMW X5. Like, yo, Jay said that's the baby mama car. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so again, like and again, it's like, come on, y'all. Like, if you like an X5, get an X5. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, who's really gonna clown on you for having an X5? Like, I don't know nobody who's gonna pull up in a brand new X5 12 years ago and they'd be like, nigga, you picking me up in your baby mama car? Like, I just don't know them niggas. I'm not saying they don't exist. I'm just saying I personally don't know them dudes. And this is where we lost sight of individuality, like of being able to say, you know, I've told the story a million times when my man was like, yo, I had on a Randall Cunningham jersey. My man whispered to me like, yo, bro, Jason, we don't rock jerseys no more, nigga. You know, and it's just like, God damn, you too? Like, what this is an episode of like the Twilight Zone. Like, nigga, it's Randall Cunningham. Like, nigga, I'm not gonna stop rocking a jersey because Jay-Z told me to. Like, this is my favorite player. Nigga, I'm in Philly. Like, so again, but this is where we started to lose who we were to keep up with the Joneses and to keep up with, and a lot of this I'm telling you, a lot of this goes back to Sean Combs with that broke rapper and the mad rapper and all that stuff, because nobody wanted to be called a hater, and it was like, okay, we got to get money, we got to get money, we got to get money. And I tell people all the time, do niggas know that Branford Marsalis, that Gangstar used to live in Branford Marsalis' basement? Like, dead ass, like Gangstar, one of the biggest hip hop groups at that time, living in a jazz artist brownstone basement. Did niggas talk about Tip? Tip was still living in his mother's house, sleeping in a twin bed when Midnight Marauders was out. These are facts. Nobody, like I said, if you would have done MTV Cribs in 1994, nigga, it would have looked a lot fucking different than MTV Cribs in 1997. That's to show you, because I always love, you know, the marriage counselor in me is always like, where does the problem start? That's where. So I'm always inquisitive, like, about when did this start? And it started around that time, because trust me, you go do an MTV Cribs, Paris said it in 92. Still, I haven't seen one rapper living comfortably. You know what I mean? And then you fast forward to 1997, and now you got boom boom rooms and stripper poles and pools and pool tables, and everybody was getting money. And it was like, if you ain't getting money, then you broke, you know? What Foxy say, I'll respond to J. Rue when that nigga sell 1 million records. This is where the battling came to a point of, I'm not even going to talk to you if you ain't in my tax bracket. Like, I'm not even replying to this broke nigga over there. Like, so again, that's where all this stuff comes from. And the problem is, it never stopped from 97 to now 2026. And now we're here. You know what I mean? So
I was one of them, girl. I was one of them niggas. I ain't gonna lie.
You say don't respond if you ain't in the tax bracket?
Nah, it's similar when cause like when J. Rule was kind of dissing Biggie, that was it for me. Like,
yeah, I know.
I didn't even really hear that. And I remember a little bit after that time being in BK in the downtown section, Fulton Street in the bodega, and who comes in on a bike? J. Rule. And I'm like, look at this nigga. He talking about big, this nigga on a fucking bike, you broke ass nigga. I was one of them, kid.
I get it, bro. But I get it. But I'm telling you, that's when we gonna have to do a whole segment on that because that's where hip hop got split down the middle. I know a lot of niggas who it got split. It was like I ain't fucking with De La and J. Rule. And these are hip hop heads, like people who love the culture, but it was like a line drawn down the middle, like us versus them, like backpackers versus the niggas who get money, you know. And I hate that it was done like that. You know what I mean? Because it separated a whole culture. Because I could go on Morgan's campus and we all loved hip hop until around that time. You know what I mean? And I remember it was Jay's Hard Knock Life album, and it was like half of us loved it, half of us hated it, and that was the beginning of the split down hip hop. You know what I mean? We got to do a joint about that. No shark biters, but y'all ain't even smart enough to do a show like that. So don't worry. Take the topic all you want. We'll do it better. My bad, Spence. We done cut you off. You left off at Ice-T and them at Foot Locker in the mall in the gallery in Baltimore.
I got the Roots clones, you know. Them coming back with that. I mean, I like some of the stuff on the album before, but this one was like, oh, okay. And then the fact that they had a record store on 15th and Walnut, I think it was called HMV. They had a live performance there, and then once at midnight hit, you can go buy the album. So everybody was either in the store or in the streets, and then once it was done, you went and purchased the album. So just the whole experience was crazy. So that's one that got me. And the Lost Boys, Lex Coupe, Beamers, and Benz. I was down Virginia Beach at the time, and I used to hang with this boy named K. Sean, and he was in the Navy too. So every once in a while we might go down Norfolk State, some games, or he might know some people. We'll make runs down Virginia. So we'll go down there, and it was this little short boy that was with him every once in a while. I didn't know who he was. I thought he went to school there or whatever. So eventually, one day, K. Sean gave me this tape. He said, "Oh, my man that I be with sometime, he about to be in a group. He putting some music out." Like, all right, bet. So he gave me the tape. So then I go out to see. So I'm playing the tape, like, damn, this joint all right. So my mom, she would, when I go out to see sometimes, my mom or my girlfriend, well, my wife at the time now, they would send me like Source magazines, tapes and stuff like that. So they sent me a Source magazine. So I finally got the Source. So I'm looking through the joint. I'm like, hold up, this the boy. It was the boy DJ Spig Nice. I'm looking in the joint. I'm like, oh shit, that's the same boy that we was with. He was legit. And I'm like, oh shit. So then, I get back to the thing, he was gone, and it was over. Videos was out, everything.
Yo, Lex Coupe's the Beamer, man, at Morgan. Yeah. Oh man, my God.
I still got that tape too with all the stuff on it too.
What? That's dope, man. That's dope. Craziest thing about this album, if people can see the back, that's Malik B, R.I.P. Malik B. I would stare at this album all day because I wanted the beard so bad when this album dropped, and my beard just could not grow. So it's amazing to me to have a beard now because I would be like, God damn, I just want a beard like Malik B, man. Yeah, I mean, R.I.P. to MIL saying, Neltron, what you got? Oh, did we do Neltron?
No, it's on Vern.
Vern, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All right. So my young adult time, or college to young adult. What's the 411? I was I think, a sophomore in college. That album was ubiquitous. It was everywhere, bro. It dropped like a doggone atom bomb, man, because we had never heard hip hop, soul, and R&B at the same time, man. So from top to bottom, that's one of those. And the beautiful thing about the What's the 411, you loved it as a dude, and you can play that tape in your car with your girl, and you both were happy. So what's the 411?
Vern, what's your favorite track off of that?
I'm gonna pick a what you call the thing, a silent one. I'm gonna say, can't you see what I've been going through?
Yeah, that's a banger. That's a
banger. Yeah. Well, I mean, but favorite, ask me that 10 minutes from now, and I'll run out like 3 or 4 more. Right. The album was just dope, man. And what I love about Mary J, this has nothing to do with this album, is that like we kind of grew up with her, man.
Yeah.
She's like, because I remember Mary was kind of not. You didn't really want to hear her singing per se, and I hear her growth in that. So all right, that's that one. On the hip hop side, of course, I mean you see it on the wall. Southern Playalistic, man. I think I might have been a sophomore in college then too. We knew who Outkast was before they were Outkast because my homies knew Rico Wade from summer school, and we went over there shopping my demo, and they played it like, man, the beats are dope, man, but your rapper, he got to get more in pocket, and he wasn't lying. God rest.
Yo, you still got that joint, bro?
Man, I wish I did. I wish we had some good, because I at that time I was saying my raps instead of rapping my raps.
What you mean you were singing them?
I was saying them,
Oh, saying them. I was like, oh, this nigga sing? I ain't know that, bro. I'm like, I definitely got to hear this now.
So there was growth in it. But anyway, so Southern Playalistic, man, that album put Atlanta on the map as far as hip hop goes. It was so musical. Preston Crumps and Deborah Killings, who went to my high school. KP went to my high school. It was just dope, man. I mean, we had never heard nothing like that from the South. Because before it was like Miami bass and Shadi, But this was a lyrical album, and it was very, very, very musical. That's the thing that stands out the most for me. And Organized Noise is the musicality of their albums. So then I'm gonna go back to R&B. I'm gonna say Sons of Soul, Tony. So why that stands out for a number of reasons. That was the first time I flew on a plane and we went out to LA because we knew somebody who was in the music game. His brother is a huge in the gospel industry now. But he said, "Nah, if you ever in LA, look me up." All right, so about 4 months later, hey, we here. And he took us to a Motown studio. I did a rap with a Motown artist who got shelved or whatever. Man, but that Sons of Soul album, man, is one of my favorite albums. Then I'm gonna go with hip hop side. X-Clan, To the East Backwards. Freshman year, college, man, listen, I was Vernon X, man. I had on my ankh. I had on my beads, my medallion, all that kind of stuff. And, I'm at Georgia State, kind of lily white. So I'm militant, man. And I drive in every day listening to the X-Clan. Yeah, I'm about to fight these devils and all this stuff. So X-Clan on that side. I'm going to say another hip hop. Low End Theory. That is my favorite Tribe Called Quest. Yeah, there you go.
Nice.
I would say Midnight Marauders is their best album, but Low End Theory is my favorite album. Because before Low End Theory, we had People's Instinctive Travels. Love the album, but it fell into the groove on Low End Theory. Like, okay, yeah, I really get this album now. Because they were real quirky on Low End Theory, man. But I think they got their niche. And I kind of liken it to this. What the first album by P. Rock and CL Smooth was what?
Neck and the Soul Brother.
Neck and the Soul Brother. But the second album,
Main Ingredient,
they kind of fell into their groove. And that to me is how I would say Tribe did. So what else I got? I'm gonna say 2 by Boys and Men. And the reason why I choose that album because I was dating this young lady at the time, and Trying Times used to be our song. She'd come over my parents' apartment, and we lay up in my bedroom and play that back to back to back. And so this November it'll be 30 years with that young lady. So that's why I'm gonna say Boys and Men 2. On the hip hop side,
I was gonna say, bro, Trina may see this, so I don't know if you want me to edit that out. But
no,
I'm glad it's Trina.
that was the lady, the young lady.
Yeah. I know. That's why I said.
Okay, I got that. Oh man. number 4 on the hip hop side, I'm gonna say the UMC's Fruits of Nature album. A lot of people don't talk about that album, but that album has a place in my heart because I used to ride the Greyhound bus to hang out with my boys at UGA in Athens because I didn't trust my Ford Escort enough that it could make it from Atlanta to Athens, which is only about an hour and 15 minutes at that time. It's quicker now. But yeah, so I had my Walkman on Fruits of Nature album. I love UMC, and Cool Kim is a cool dude. I talk to him on Instagram and stuff like that. He has a
NY Oregon now, right?
Augusta, because that's where he lives now, where they have like a hip hop cookout and stuff. He has like a show. So I'm gonna choose that one. Then I'm gonna say, who is Jill Scott? All right, so our first family vacation, we drove the Explorer to Chattanooga to see the Tennessee Aquarium. So broke, we stayed in a motel that was so close to the highway that every time the trucks came past, it shook the room, man. But we listened to that album and India Ari's album on the way up there, man. So Jill Scott from top to bottom, flawless.
Yeah.
My last hip hop, I'm gonna say, man, I'm gonna say a wild card. Arrested Development.
Oh wow.
And the reason why is because at the time, a dude that we hung out with at Georgia State, he's from Milwaukee, so he was cool with Speech. And so we got cool with Speech, started hanging out with Speech. I signed my autograph on his wall and stuff like that. We used to go to his house and we watched the spook that sat by the door and all them black movies and stuff like that. And we used to go to movies with Speech, and then Speech got us on the stage with KRS-One when he did Black Cop at Piedmont Park. So Arrested Development for me. And then the last R&B, I'm gonna say the soundtrack to New Jack City. You got New Jack Hustler, you got I'm Dreaming by Christopher Williams, you got New Jack City by Guy, you got I'm Still Waiting by Johnny Gill, There You Go by Keith Sweat, I Want to Sex You Up by Color Me Bad. That song right there was different from anything we had ever heard.
That thing in the whole world right there.
Yeah, man. I think about a girl I was dating I Want to Sex You Up when I was at Georgia State. But so those are my 5 hip hop and R&B songs. I mean, songs, album /
Right. Veg, what you got, bro, for them college years at Morgan? I think I know at least 2. I think I know at least 2. Knowing you, I think I know 2.
Guessing because it's all in the club, nigga. That's all I was. Just bring my books in my book bag in any club in fucking the DMV. But I'm gonna start out with Raekwon and Ghostface, Glaciers of Ice, because Purple Tape dropped in August, and I'm getting ready to go to Morgan and I'm running that like crazy, and then when I get to the dorm, shout out or rest in peace to OC, O'Connell Hall. That's all the fuck you hear on every floor. Purple Tape, Criminology, Glaciers.
Real quick, Greg, I just want to make people sure he did not say R.I.P. OC, the rapper. He said one of the dorms on campus of Morgan State was called O'Connell Hall, and we called it OC. So that's what he was saying, and they tore it down. They built a new one. OC is prayerfully fine. So yeah, I just want to throw that out.
OC is fine, man. And for those who need context, especially back then, it was the hood of Morgan State University. Trust me,
it was like, God damn, you live in O'Connell? Damn.
Floor get hot for no reason. You like, yo, why the floor hot? Like, like the floor is heating up, like shit like that. Just a little. I'm not bluffing. Just a little snapshot into what was hood, but a couple times me and my homies just took off our shirts and just busting in niggas' room, daring them to do shit. It was wild. I don't know why we did that. I would never tell my sons that because they're in college now. I don't want them doing that stupid shit. But like Purple Tape was just everywhere. That's how I knew it wasn't just me. And every time I hear Glaciers of Ice, because I bought that single before the album came out, I just think about being a freshman, first time away in college. It just reminds me of that every time I hear it. But now, freshman year, I'm a veteran already. Busta Rhymes, Put Your Hands Where My Eyes Can See. My God. Dropped like a week before homecoming. So you already know. And Busta was performing at homecoming. Fucking crazy. Like, just, like, you know how we, and maybe I speak for some people, but around that time, a lot of people were influenced, or a lot of black kids were influenced to go to HBCUs because of school days and different world, you know what I'm saying? And like I told my brother who didn't get to go to a HBCU, it was that shit. Like, it was it. Everything you see in the movie, in the show, it was exactly that. So Put Your Hands Where My Eyes Can See was just a crazy time. Busta got like the hottest song out, and he's right here at a party, you know, at school. So it was just crazy. You probably guessed this one, but Puff Daddy and the Family, the Benjamins. When I tell you this is the fucking soundtrack for me and the homies partying all the time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You couldn't tell anybody partying. The Benjamins was like, it's going to get played about 5 times tonight.
Yep.
It's going to feel like the first time every time. It just was like the perfect beat, the perfect energy. You know, the whole vibe of the song just fit that time. I remember one time when the song was kind of fresh, we was already hyped for the party. And you know you get extra hype when you walk in and they start playing your shit as you're walking in. You feel like, oh, they didn't play the song till we got here. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that I definitely couldn't leave that one out. All right, what else I had? Also during homecoming, Usher, You Make Me Wanna. That was probably the first time, at least for me, that I was like, okay, I really like Usher's music. I need to get this My Way album. And the video, niggas act like we be saying with K Solo Kill, like, you know,
like he just off his head. He just rapping, yeah, he just smelling. Like, that's the superpower. This nigga style is to smell, right? Kill, gotcha, OG. That's why the 90s was so dope.
Right. It was amazing. So it was the same thing with Usher, like, yo, the nigga took his shoes off while he was dancing. Like, we thought that was the illest shit in the world. Then we trying to do that shit. Like, hold on, rewind that shit. Like, all right. It was a special time. And lastly, this was a little bit later. This is after college. I'm not hosting Strictly Hip Hop, but I'm like executive producer Strictly Hip Hop. And it's 50 Cent in the club. And there's a difference between when I first heard it and I was like, oh, they trying to change him up from the mixtapes and all that. And then when I heard it in the club, I was like, oh, nah. This one of them ones, like, this song is a monster in here. Like, from the energy to how it, because we danced back then, kids. We danced with the ladies, fellas. Like, not with the niggas. Most of the time we didn't dance with the niggas. Like, they put some rapping shit on, we might rap to each other. Then we danced to the ladies. But this was it was just so perfect. And I was like, wow. I never could have imagined looking at 50 getting blackballed, having that Power of a Dollar album, and then having that mixtape run, and then now he's with Dre and Eminem, and this the record, and this shit is huge. I just couldn't believe it. It just felt like a moment in hip hop. It felt really, really big, and just still, I was married with a young kid, but I was still in the club. I was holding on for a bit. But yeah, it was such a big record. Yeah, I was wilding. Like, I was straight like, I do, kiss the baby, back in DC. And then until you that old man where you're looking like, I don't want to dance no more. And I've been holding this cup for the whole fucking night. I think I'm gonna go home. Like, but yeah, those are mine.
All right, dope. Now we're looking at adulthood 25 on. First up, 2002, Grinding by the Clips. To me, one of my favorite songs ever. Drums were crazy. This means something to me just because I just started getting into education, and this was the last time that I saw kids beating on the lunchroom table to make a drum beat. Like that was, and it felt so dope because it's like, damn, I'm at this time I'm like 28, and it's like, wow, kids are still doing this. Like I remember doing this when I was in high school, and I've been here ever since, and nobody banging on tables no more. So that grinding just meant, I love the beat. I always say like that's the first time I've said program drums should be an official break beat. I feel like those grinding drums, what Pharrell did, you can put that right up there with any break beat. I'm going with Cold as Ice by M.O.P. and the Warriors album. This album means so much to me. It dropped Tuesday, October 10th of 2000. I got married October 14th of 2000. So from Tuesday to Saturday, this is all we listened to. So through all the picking up tuxes and driving to Philly to get cuts and driving back and just everything that had to do with this wedding, it just all revolved around that album. I even had my best man who's not into hip hop at all singing Cold as Ice. He was ready to go buy the album because we played it so much. So that album means something to me. The Blueprint by Jay-Z. I just remember at this time I was kind of done with Jay. I was like, the Dynasty. I don't think I even listened to the Dynasty album. I think I heard the joint with Big Pimpin'. I was like, it was always, I just wanted boom bap Jay-Z. I wanted Reasonable Doubt Jay. I didn't want Club Jay. And my man Jay says to me, was like, yo, this Blueprint album, nah, nigga, this nigga's back. You got to get it. Me and T are driving to Rockville. Like, I got this album from Barnes & Noble. And if y'all remember, like, 2002, Barnes & Noble buying a CD is like $18.99. Like, this was no $9.99 Best Buy deal. And just putting that thing in. And I mean, T loves the album. Like, T even, like, and I think that's why it means so much to me, because this is an album that, like, we really both enjoy. Next up is Kanye's The College Dropout. And I'm talking about the bootleg joint, not the official, because the bootleg had the All Falls Down when it was like he was doing poetry. Then Mos Def introduced him, and he's doing the poetry. Same words, but it's just like in a Def Poetry Jam joint. The Good, the Bad, and Ugly with Consequence was on it. Keep the Receipt with Old Dirty Bastard was on it. My Way, Home, Heavy Hitters was on it. And I mean, I love the Retail album too. I think both are 5 mics, but I really loved the bootleg. And to me, Ye was like a breath of fresh air, because it was like, okay, damn, this, you don't got to be a drug dealer, you don't got to be a billionaire, you could just be a regular dude rocking polo with a book bag on, talking about college, and you could be cool. The last joint, Rehab by Amy Winehouse. I love Amy Winehouse. I love that album. This means so much to me, to my mother's. I don't even know how to explain it, but Naomi's first song that she learned was Rehab. So my mother and I weren't too happy about that, because they're like, my granddaughter, my grandniece is walking around his house talking about she had to go to rehab. But that album means a lot to me. I love the album, but then the fact that that was like Nate's first song that she would sing is just a testament to how much I played it. So that's my adulthood. Vague, take us home with your adult stuff, man.
I'm gonna start with M.O.P. also. Annie Up, man. I thought I was done with wilding out in the club, and that song was just infectious, and it just felt like if you still on the dance floor, you with the shits, like, you know what I'm saying? And also I think what stood out to me was the fact that, like, it was weird that it was such a huge record commercially.
Yeah,
being about robbing cats.
I was gonna say that taught me that you just got to make dope music, because people were trying to get this formula. Like, I remember the joint they had off their third album with the Rocky sample with Jay-Z, and it's like, on paper that was supposed to be the hit. Like, we rhyming over Rocky, everybody loves Rocky, we got Jay on this is gonna be crazy, and it did absolutely nothing. And then it's like, yo, fuck it, we just gonna make this song about robbing niggas. DR period, give us a beat, and like, this shit is still getting played in wrestling. Like, it like, this is their biggest song. It just kind of taught me, like, don't follow the template. If that's not you, just make good music, and if it's dope enough, it'll come to the point that Funk Flex is on the album. Like, Funk Flex is scratching on if you pop in Warriors, you can't just hit play and hear the beat, you got to hear Funk Flex. Like that's how crazy that is. So that's a great point, man.
Also on my list, Kendrick, "Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe."
Mm.
That was probably the first time where I was like, I'm finally like really, really into somebody who's new. Because I think for a moment I was always checking for, you know, if cats from my generation was still dropping, and you know, hearing shit here and there, but not really, you know, feeling like I'm anticipating the album. It's just more so I like that record. But when I heard that, I was like, damn, this is dope. This is like listening to West Coast and Outkast and like a mix of different artists, but he's new. You know what I'm saying? So I really love that record. Kanye West Graduation album is my favorite Kanye album. I don't think it's his best, but I think it's my favorite. I remember running that to death, and that reminds me of even though it happened a little bit later, it reminds me of Coming Back Up Top, because I was back. I was living in Jersey. I bought a house in Jersey. I'm working at, you know, famous jazz station, and you know what I'm saying? Everything's so new. I got a new kid. Like it was just like a certain point in my life, and you know, it was the hip hop I was listening to, and it was kind of like perfect because Kanye is a transparent rapper, as we know. And I think that's what I liked about him. He didn't care about whether he was being too vulnerable or not. He was just being real, and it came out in his music. So I always liked that. D'Angelo and the Vanguard, Black Messiah. That was the first time where I said to myself, I'm going to that tour. You know what I'm saying? And when he came to Jersey, he did so much music, and he's one of my favorites that me and my wife, we had to leave, Kill. The nigga was still going. He was doing, and what was so ill is I remember he did a rendition of Brown Sugar that's not no remix, none of the shit we ever heard. And you know me as a music head and everybody up here, I'm like, yo, when you putting that shit on streaming, right? Because it was like another version, and it sounded funky, but it was kind of mellowed out. It was more like led by his bass more than anything, and I was just like, yo, it was just like a fantastic show. I bought the digital, the vinyl. That was the first time I was like doing all of that shit. Like, yo, give me the, like you said, Kill, give me the tape, give me the disc, give me the album. And I played it, played the vinyl so much the shit scratched. Now it costs $100 because the man that passed away. So, and I think this is my fifth, but Common's Delight. And the only reason why that's something that I remember is because I was hosting Strictly Hip Hop, and I remember the album came out, and I was reviewing tracks to play, and you know, Kill, Strictly Hip Hop, you like get the boom baps and the boom bap that one and the boom bap, and I heard Delight, and I was like, yo, like you said, I love that sample, and I was like, yo, this shit hot. And I remember I was like, oh shit, I'm in charge. I'm gonna fuck that. I'm playing this. I'm gonna fuck what them niggas call up and like, yo, why you playing? Shut the fuck up, you little pussy getting nigga. This shit hot. And I remember because I listened to the competition, I was listening to 92Q and not just Rap Attack, which is like the rival show, and they weren't playing it. And I was like, yo, we breaking this record because we the only ones playing it. And sure enough, that shit took off and they were playing it like crazy. And I just remember it like at least being one of the times I felt like I broke a record, at least in the town, because we were playing it first. And I was like, oh shit, I identified that shit now. Of course, I stopped playing it once them niggas played it. It was like, that shit up there. Commercial ass niggas playing. But yeah, that song always sticks out just from a career standpoint as a host. So,
all right, that's dope. That's dope. Ron, what you taking us into to adulthood, brother?
You're on mute.
burn on his old man. He was like, hold on, let me get my schedule out. Like on my job, that's all they do on my job. Like they be talking like a motherfucker. You be like, man, you're on mute.
All right, so I mean, I'm gonna just throw some random stuff out here. I'm gonna say, SWV, Use Your Heart. That song was on my self-made mistake for my honeymoon drive to Destin, Florida. So yes, special place. Use Your Heart. Let me see. I pretty much have run off most of my adult stuff. So I'm gonna just say something. I'm gonna say D'Angelo. That I had never heard nothing like that album.
Black Messiah or
No, Brown Sugar, man.
Brown Sugar. Okay.
Yeah, Brown Sugar. Because it was this, like Q, you talk about this all the time. This was a niggas singing R&B stuff. Yeah, so D had that thing about him, man. So I'm gonna choose that one. Let me see what else. Adulthood. You caught me off guard because I thought I already said that time frame in my life. If somebody else say something, I'll chime back in. But that's about it.
Spence, what you got up, bro?
I didn't even do it, but I just jotted some quick stuff. I thought we stopped at the 18 to 26, but
yeah, that's what I thought too. Yeah.
No, I probably suck at giving directions. I'm the 52 is not kind, so I'm really scared of 53. So
I got a Beanie Siegel, Filled in the Air. Like just
Heavy D.
Jesus. The description of everything that's going on, what he's sensing, he looking at you, your hand, not just that whole thing. It give you the chills, actually. Just that joint, man. I mean, actually, that whole album, actually, The Becoming is just
classic.
Shit, the way you set that off with Nothing Like It, oh my god, man.
Yeah, so that I think Nothing Like It's on I think not on that album.
Oh my bad. The one before that. I apologize. I apologize.
That's on the reason.
That's the reason.
Yeah,
that's on the reason. That's my
I got Nas's KD3. He has a song on there called Once a Man, Twice a Child, where he actually breaks down from as you being a child and you getting older, and then as you get older, you convert back to a child where somebody else has to take care of you. Just that whole concept and just how he wrote that joint. That's what makes Nas Nas. Like you always say the AZ this, and this is the stuff that takes him up there. The thinking, the concepts and stuff like that. I have LB, The Minstrel Show, just the whole album, the concept, just and all. Cause I remember when I first when they first album came out, the Listening, somebody was trying to get me to buy it so bad, and they kept saying, "Oh no, they like the New Tribe," and I was just like, "All right," and I ain't want to. I just kept walking by it, and I finally bought it, and I was like, "Then it's drawing all right." But then when I bought The Minstrel Show, I was like, "Oh, I get it."
Perseverance.
I said, "I get it now." Kanye West, Late Registration. Right. I like the first joint, but I think Late Registration is the one for me. Just overall package. And as far as on the underground tip, Evidence, Cats and Dogs. That's my pick.
Yeah, that one's hot.
That was probably my number one joint. I think it came out 2011.
Yeah.
Hey, I need glasses to read the back of CDs now, so I don't know when this joint came out, but the joint was my joint right there.
So those are my five.
Now, Tron, what you got up left, bro?
I jotted a few down. I got before we went overseas with the military. I got Outkast Speaker Box, Love Below, about 25 years old. Hey Ya comes out. The way I Like the Way You Move comes out. Classic album. Both albums, everybody was shitting on Speakerbox in the beginning, but it's a solid album, man. Big Boy stands toe to toe with Drake. I don't care what nobody says. Freeway, What We Do.
Hey, my
I don't even have to say nothing. I mean,
That's
it's
the
a
Philly
theme.
anthem. That's the
Right,
anthem,
that's
bro.
what I'm saying. I seen a video with this chick was in
Yeah,
it,
that's game.
Oh yeah,
going
the
off,
game.
going.
On the green
I know
hoodie.
my child was next to her, but she didn't care about nothing.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel every time I hear that shit. It's like, I don't want to hear shit. Don't talk to me. Don't ask me for no juice, no food, nothing.
He said, "Don't ask me for no juice."
Commons B. I'm actually in Iraq when this drops. My sergeant, I forgot his name, Sergeant Knox. He's like, man, you heard that new Common? I'm like, nah, you know. And I'm a fan. I'm one of the few fans of Electric Circus. I know it was weird and experimental, but when B came and he said, you know, I dropped a corner or something, and they said that nigga's back. And
He said the crochet sweater
Yeah,
is whack.
and then-
And they said that nigga's
That
back.
nigga's
That's
back.
why I said that nigga knew he fucked up. That was Mr. Society. He's like, you know you done messed up. You know you done messed up. You
He
know.
did.
So
also when I was in Iraq, John Legend drops his debut
He
album.
lifted.
woo,
He
fine
left
mic right there.
And
love
I didn't
that.
know John Legend was on the Black album. Alicia Keys, just doing all the backgrounds on Kanye's albums. And I'm like, all right, this dude. So I fucked with that. My favorite song on there was She Don't Have to Know. It uses that Sly Stone sample.
Yes, sir.
By Will.i.am, I think he did the beat. Next up, just like Spence said, Late Registration is my favorite Kanye. There's a few songs on there, but he got a song with Cam on there. It's a dope album, dope project. And as I became a father, my second child was born on the same day that Black Messiah dropped. So that album is super special. And so yeah, that's when I got married, had kids, and then my last one is To Pimp a Butterfly, because everybody on Facebook, Twitter was talking about K. Kendrick. I wasn't really fucking with rap in 2015 like that. I wasn't keeping my ear to the street, but I heard the song For Sale, and I heard Complexion, and I gave Dude a chance, and then I went back to Good Kid, Mad City. But To Pimp a Butterfly it's a work of art, man. I'm sure it's going to be in a museum in 10, 20 years from now. But yeah, that was my last one, To Pimp a Butterfly.
Yeah, Kamasi and Terrence Martin, all
Yeah, man, everybody doing it, all the jazz cats.
Yeah.
It's one joint that I pulled the album out and I saw it. I don't know how I didn't say this. Roxanne should have been on my 10 or whatever that was to high school, because this song was probably one of the first songs that I learned every rhyme to, like every word. And it was like I get on the school bus and go and kick this whole rhyme. So this joint right here, R.I.P. Kangle Kid and the Educated Rapper, like that. Y'all know me, always had to get something for the stew. So new poster for the studio, the whole Jay-Z joint, you know, from shout out to Spence. Me and Spence hung out with our families, which was real dope up there. And y'all know the bookworm in me. Usually I shout out music books, but I'm gonna shout out a regular book. Finished this book called The Mountain Is You, and it's by Brianna West. Very dope book. Glad it was some things in there. I've been, getting my life together and everything. So the whole book, I think anybody should read the book. It's a great book. But I was like skimming through it because I'm like, I know how to do that. But one of the things that really stood out to me was she talks about how most people can't be happy because they're either living in they're regretting things from their past and they're worrying about their future. So it's very hard for them to be happy in the present. And that just spoke to me because right now life is great. Chief at work, me and T after 20, we about to do 26 years in October. We're probably the happiest we've been. Nay is doing great in college. Everything is good, but there are still some days that I wake up and I'm a little depressed or I'm a little sad. And I'm like, yo, what's wrong with me? Like everything is good, but I'm like regretting not, messing up money from the past, and I'm worrying about the future of retirement. And the book kind of helps you talk about just staying in the present. You know, when they talk about how like depression comes from the past and anxiety comes from the future. You know, and if you could just stay in the present. I was talking to one of my boys, and he was like, "But what's wrong? What happens when your present is messed up too?" And I said, "Damn, I don't know about that." But this is how God works. That night I had a dream, and in the dream, one of my peoples asked me that, and in the dream I was like, "Well, the present is just today. Tomorrow is the future. We don't know what tomorrow holds. We don't know anything. So we think about things like the present is like the next 10 years and the future is our 70s. No, the present is just today." So the answer, I had to call him the next day, like, "Nah, bro, yo, if you're not happy with the way things are right now, you can start that change today." You know what I mean? So that's like the thing too. So the book it was really something dope. And I know I'm not the only person out there who may struggle with that, like regretting something you didn't do. And I'm gonna show you also that's how God works. I'm gonna show you how the devil works. So I'm taking bass lessons and I'm playing the bass and I'm not getting something. Now everybody for the most part knows my mother's a jazz musician, plays every instrument. Now I'm in the past. Like, yeah, nigga, you could have been playing the bass file. You should have been playing the bass when you was 10 if you wasn't running the streets and doing da-da-da-da-da. So I'm enjoying this moment in the present. The devil takes me back to the past. So now I'm like, yo, why didn't I start playing the bass back in the day? Like, man, this is whack. Then I'm watching this other boy play bass on YouTube. He's like, yeah, I've been playing bass for 30 years. And I'm like, I ain't gonna get good until I'm 82. So now I'm in the future. So again, I'm enjoying the present. The devil done took me to the past and the future in 2 minutes. So again, I know I'm not the only person who struggles with this. Maybe the only person who talks about this shit, but I know I'm not the only person who struggles with it. So definitely a dope book to check out. And if you do, not even if you're depressed or sad, but just trying to just really live in the present. And like I tell people, if you're my age, I call this the third verse of life. If you don't like where it's at, throw it away. Vegas will tell you, being an MC, you write 2 incredible verses and you're not liking the third verse, you just don't let no whack third verse end your song. Nah, you gonna ball that up, throw the paper away, and keep writing. But I know too many boys out here that are my age who just don't, you know, they just get writer's block. You can't get writer's block on your third verse. This is supposed to be the most important time of your life, is right now in these 50s, going into your third verse. That's what makes the third verse so important, so special. So again, just a dope book to check out. Y'all know me, I always want to give game. Vague, where can they get at you, good brother?
All right, you can follow me on social media at Vegas World INC. Check out my podcast, Hip Hop Now Podcast, right here on YouTube. News and perspectives, but also running a series celebrating 30 years of albums from 1996.
Which has been incredible, by the way. Incredible. So if people haven't seen it, y'all need to tap into that. Really, really dope content.
Yeah, man. And, you know, I got guests on each of these episodes. Recently in June, we released Reasonable Doubt episode with my man Jay. A lot of college talk, a lot of memories, a lot of cussing, which I don't really do on my podcast. And then shout out to Tone. We talked about Nas as it was written, which is pretty dope. He's a big Nas fan, and we kind of talked about that time and where Nas was lyrically. And coming up in August, I think it's August, AT Aliens. And my guest right here, right? Neltron, we did that. So he'll be my guest on that episode. So stay tuned. Hip Hop Now Podcast on YouTube.
All right. Vern, where can they get at you? Where are you doing the loans? He's still the closer. If y'all need a loan, and give them all the states that you get busy in, bro.
North and South Carolina, Alabama, Georgia. Be the loan closer on Instagram. I'm kind of this is the reason why I've been kind of dolo for a minute. I'm doing some of the stuff. Kid, you just dropped some jewels a few minutes ago with the book you were talking about. Just kind of rediscovering who I am and what my purpose is, you know. And I heard a message the other day. Bishop Bronner said, when you don't know your purpose, basically you'll fill your life with pleasure. And so I'm just really like, look, man, I'm 54. What am I supposed to be doing? What am I here for? So I just been grinding, reading a lot of books and doing journaling and all kind of stuff, man, and just working on myself. So that's what's up with me. So I'm glad you mentioned that book, man. What's the title again?
It's called The Mountain Is You.
Okay.
Yeah, like I said, you may have some, since me and you are kind of doing the knowledge, it may be some stuff in there, but I just thank God, because part of me was going to be like, I already know all this stuff. I'm going to just, skip this book. But I just kept skimming through it. And when it hit that, it was like, oh, okay, this is why I needed this book, was for that message right there. Because for a minute, I was like, damn, like on some real shit, I was like, yo, do I need to be on some medication or something? Like, why am I depressed? Like, I'm happy. Like, everything is great. Like, there's nothing wrong right now. But and that's what it was. It was just worrying about the past and worrying about the future. I can't do nothing. All I can do is just grind and stay in the present. It's almost like your car need a front end alignment. You keep veering in this lane and veering in that lane. Like, yo, just stay in the lane you in. There's no traffic, and that's what the devil will do. The devil will make you regret the things that you didn't do, and then make you worry about the things, because now you can't even be happy with the life you've made. Niggas know I busted my ass for the past 12 years to get to where I'm at right now. You know what I mean? And it's one of those things. My boss on sabbatical and left me in charge. Like, that's some crazy shit right there. So it's like I busted my ass, and I should be happy, and I'm not. So I just gotta stay in the present. Remember, for people, if you're not happy with your present, you can always change. Your present is just today. That's literally it. Tomorrow is your future. So if you're not liking what it is, do what you got to do to, kind of move into that lane over there. So that's dope. Spence, where can they get at you, good brother?
88 Spence on IG and Twitter.
All right, no doubt. And Neltron, where can they get at you?
Neltron 8000 on IG and Twitter.
All right, no doubt, y'all, no doubt. That's the soundtrack. I challenge everybody to go out there and think about this. This was a dope. I mean, prayerfully, it was dope for all y'all, because I had never thought about these things. I never thought about, like, damn, what are the songs that bring me back to my childhood, and what are the songs? So, definitely now I'm going to Philly tomorrow, so definitely excited to kind of share some of these things with my mom. So I challenge everybody out there, do your own soundtrack and everything like that. Definitely reminisce, and I'll check y'all next week, good peoples.
Peace.